Siddharam, everybody. Welcome to our final session of Bhagavad, our 21st session of listening to these Katha coming from the 10th Skandha of Bhagavad Puran. Tonight we enter into a wonderful discourse that explains a lot about Lord Vishnu and how did the Krishna Leela end. Before we get into it, everybody, let's all stand. As always, let's begin with Arti. Put your hands together, everybody. Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarti, papiyon ko paap se hai
पापियों को पाप से तारती।
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोती पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला।
ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोती पंथ पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति
हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही,
हरिदान यही वरदान यही,
जग की मंगल के आरती।
पापियों को पाप से तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती,
पापियों को पाप से
के शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला।
ये शांति दीप पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला।
है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी,
सुख करनी है दुख हरनी,
ये मधुसूदन की
आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती। जय भागवत भगवान की जय आरती। पापियों को पाप से तारती।
ये मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
ये मधुर बोल जग पंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला।
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही,
प्रभु की महिमा के आरती।
पापियों को पाप से तारती।
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती,
पापियों को पाप से तारती।
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
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 गोविंद
Gopala bolo. Just where you are, together, and no music. Govinda bolo,
Pala bolo,
Govinda bolo,
Gopala bolo,
Radha.
Hari Govinda bolo.
Let's pray together, everybody. Om Gajananam
Bhutaganari Sevitam
Kapeta Jumbo
Malacharabhakshitam
Umasutam Sho
Avinashakarakam
Namami Viganeshwara
Parapankajam
Sarvamangalamangale
Shive Sarvat Sadhike
Sharanye
Trayambike Gauri
Narayani.
Namostute.
In this moment, we've been talking a lot about Guru. Take a second. Dear God, I've lost my parents. Thank you for my Diksha Guru, the one who gives you the mantra. The people in the school that taught you this, that and the other. Dear God, thank you for every person that had ushered me into a better lane, a better way. In our first session, we listened on that Guru Purnima morning, where Lord Dattatreya says, I have 24 Gurus. I have learned from the Chap, I have learned from the earth, I have learned from the fire. Everybody is my Guru. Everything serves to teach me a lesson, and I endeavor to learn. Dear God, bless everybody who teach me. Guru Brahma, Guru Devo,
Maheshwara,
Guru Sakshat,
Param Brahma,
Tasmai Shri
Gurave Namaha.
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
One last time. Om Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya. Vindravan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Devotees, please have your seat and make yourself comfortable. If you came in after we started, welcome to our last Bhagavad session for this year. As we get set to read tonight from chapter 89-90 of Skandha 10, to get into that discourse, in our previous session, we heard about how Lord Krishna could have mercy on a person. We listened to the discourse where Vasudeva wants to, and his father wants to overcome the karmic licks and lashes for children to understand that he went through in his life. They make 6 sons at Kans, his own brother-in-law, not a stranger. Let me be quite clear. It's his own, bashes the child's heads against the wall and then leave the stained blood on the wall so that they could remember how vicious and how powerful brother-in-law is. After all these years, Krishna is now a grandfather, and Vasudeva, his father, wants to do prayer so that he must never go through this type of pain again. Garg Muni, the man who writes the Patra book that we all know, is his Pandit. And he says, listen, you have some debts to pay. You have to pay to all the gurus, all the people who guided you. If you owed anybody, if they gave you information and you did not repay in kind, or any type of gratitude gift was given. That is where in Gita it says some form of dakshina Devi, this energy of gratitude must be transferred. In our local palang, we translate that into money. But dakshina could also be a fruit, it could be a task, like how Hanuman Baba went and beat up Shanidev and brought him back to Surya, a job, a Seva. So Vasudev does just like what we do. Everybody who come from a Bandara Mishra, sit and let me make sure and take out food for you. In simple language, prepares, and he shows hospitality, shows that love. And he said wonderful prayers, and those of us that were here, we chanted some of those prayers. Dear God, today by this act, forgive me if I owed anybody. I went over the fact that tonight, when you're passing Arti and you see you put the dollar, I want you to ask yourself, remember, you're the Hindu, you're the Sanatanist. I go press the press. Why I just be putting that dollar for? The person who sits by the baby, they are the ones who may pick up a cedar or cook the food. Babs, we want you to eat something. Simple language. But the person sitting in the audience may hear something, learn something, and they don't want to owe the Guru. This is for you, Babs, for the knowledge you just gave me, Krishna Arpan. In different ways, we repay people for the knowledge, the teachings, the guidance that you get. One of the tenets of Kali Yuga is that the person becomes so strong in unrighteousness that even the people who are trying to guide you, trying to help you, trying to teach you, start with the parent, the school teacher, the same pundit, they become your enemy. The person is trying in different ways to teach you to be better, act different, and more abuse to the person that is trying to save you. Vasudeva is one, don't be like that. Improve. Then he sat down and he did Nandi Mukshrat, and I went through what that means. Long story short, nobody dies. This Shraddha is done before wedding, before Yagya, etc. Dear God, please accept our prayer and allow the benefit of this prayer to be shared with our ancestors. If it had anybody who committed suicide, died in accidental death, they died but there was no body, no physical body, let these type of souls get peace. Then he did his yagya for the devatas and so on. And after feeding and caring for everybody, he was waiting for Krishna to come. When Krishna comes, he sits down and he has a wonderful discourse, many verses about why things are the way they are, the energy that why the sun has to raise in the direction it does, and how at different times the axis of that sunlight changes. How do you do these things? It was revealed in that section that compared to Devaki and Yashoda, Vasudeva and Nand maintained their knowledge of who Lord Vishnu was. They did not forget. Yashoda saw Krishna eat the mud, but when she saw all that she saw inside the mouth, Krishna made her forget. So she was reduced to just a mother loving a child, and not somebody in awe of a divine force. So in this moment now, Vasudeva had invited Nand, and Nand, one of the highlights of the discussion was, Nand sees all the different rich and all the gold and all the different things. The people were very opulent, and he, just being a rural person, says, I'm out of place here. Are you trying to embarrass me? I'm a pauper. And Vasudeva says, of all the people here, you are the richest person. Because when nobody could help me, when I was chased with my child, if I didn't leave that jail cell, that child would have been dead. Don't mind you seeing gold and palace here. The only true wealth I have is that little boy, Krishna and Balram. And when there was nobody to help me in the dark of night, when rain and flood was falling, you opened your door, Sitaram Baba. You opened your door and you let me come in with that little boy to save him. Further to that, who gives away their daughter? That night your daughter now born, and you let me leave with that girl child. that friendship that you maintained from that day onwards, when my hands couldn't cut my child's hair, when I was not there to do the prayer as a father. God makes me a father, Parabd Karma. He gives me all the different duties, but I couldn't fulfill none. I was always in that jail. You, as a friend, you gave me the solace knowing that the prayer was still done for my children, that their development was maintained, that these prayers are done so that the child could grow, become intelligent, develop, meet the mile marks, and it was done. And because of that, I hold you in the highest esteem. You give me the highest joy. And when they embrace and they finish cry, Vasudev is waiting for Krishna to come. When Krishna come and they finish talk about the world, Krishna went to look for his mother. Now I'm going through all of this because some people never hear this discourse. Krishna went to look for Devaki, and Devaki was very angry with him. I understand that you are able to do great miracles for everybody, but not one day you show me an ounce of mercy. Ma, what I could do to help you? What would satisfy you? Tell me what I could do. She says, God made me with breasts, but not one day did I get to feed children. Instead, all I had to see was dead children. One after the other, they were brutally murdered. I hear you went for your guru, Sandapani Rishi, and you went to Patal and you brought back his son. But I had 6 dead sons, and you didn't bring back one for me. So Krishna goes Patal, and you see the fella, when Lord Vishnu is in Vaman form, and he asks Lord Vishnu, what do you want? He said, I want 3 footsteps of land. The 3rd footstep, based on what we already talked about, says put it right here. And Raja Bali went to Patal to work for Krishna. And this was the work. Krishna and Balram reach into Patal and he says, Rajan, I need a favor. I don't know what they look like, but before I came into this world, there were 6 boys. I need those 6 souls. And Raj Bali went and get the souls and brought it back for Krishna. If you ever see a picture, maybe social media, a lady sitting like how I am, and babies all over her body. This was that moment. Krishna brought back his 6 brothers that she saw die. And in that moment, she gets to feed, just once, feed them milk as a mother. When they got the milk, they were able to get the mukti that they were looking for. And we heard at the end of that chapter, as in all chapters in Bhagavad, the person who listens to the discourse, what they get. Vrindavan Biharilal ki Jai. Tonight, in our last discourse, in chapter 89 into 90, we will understand very clear what we were talking about. Building on that discourse, how come Lord Vishnu is always at the center, the main actor? Lord Shiva is on the side as a supporting actor. All devatas are there to make up the crowd, but Lord Vishnu is leading the charge. Where did that come from? We talked about there's a mark on his chest, that is the main insignia of Lord Vishnu. To be honest, is a stamp. You hear about that stamp. And how, just as how in Ram Janam, when in Ramayana, where did the Ramayana finish? Ramayana started to finish when Lakshman gives up the form, when Lakshman dies. When he dies, Sri Ram readies himself. It's time to go. Gets Love and Kush married, starts to do Swayambar for his granddaughter, and gets ready to share up the property and everything. It was time to go. In a similar fashion, in Krishna Janam, in Bhagavad, it has a katha like that. And that is what I want to read for you tonight with the little time we have. Before we go into it, everybody, as per our procedure, put your hands together. Redhi Sedhi Data Sedhi Sadana Varana Varana Sumiro Barambar Madana Kadana Ke Lal Ko Ganapati Kripa Nidhan Jnana Khani Ananda Bhavana Dehu Mohi Vardhan Varno Bhasha Bha भव भय हरना भक्ति विषय निर्वाण गौरवरण मंगल करना हे ब्रज चंद्र मुकुंद ब्रजभूषण दूषण हरना कटहु भव भय पंदा शरण शरण ले अनाकरा जय 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 जगदीश सेवत शेष महेश महिमामित अभेवा वेद वेद जानत रहे रिद्धि सिद्धि दाता सिद्धि सदन वारन वरना सुमिरो बारंबार सुमिरो बारंबार मदन कदन के लाल को वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Sukdev Goswami is explaining to the grandson of Arjun this entire text. This man, Raja Parikshit, when Yudhishthir hears that Krishna is no more, he wants to give up the crown. He does not want to be the king, because so long as Krishna leaves the earth, Kali Yuga is going to start. And according to Mahabharata text, Yudhishthir takes off the crown. His son Abhimanyu died in the Mahabharata war. But the son of Abhimanyu is this person called Parikshit, and Parikshit is alive. So from Yudhishthir, the crown and throne and everything went straight to his grandson, Raja Parikshit. Kali Yuga is fought by Parikshit, and he's told amongst places like gambling hall, prostitute hall, live where goal is, live in goal. And the mistake Parikshit made was he put on the crown on his head. And from being the righteous ruler, he makes an error one day and insults his guru. For those of you that know that discourse, that is the one where he put the fake snake around his neck. And the son of that guru gets very upset and says, in 7 days' time, you see just why you put a snake there? 7 days' time, a snake is going to bite you and you'll die. So Raja Parikshit ran to the same guru he put the snake on, and he says, you have to help me. So the construct of Saptaha Bhagavat was created as a means, as a tool. For 7 days, 3 times for the day, Parikshit sat down with his guru and they discussed these things. But not, plenty of people think Bhagavat is only Krishna Katha. This Sitaram, this Skandha is dealing with Krishna. In different volume, it have Vaman, Varaha. Varaha is the one where he has the boar head. Bhagavat means the body of Bhagwan Vishnu. And by listening, the mode of this prayer to get optimum blessing is simply listening, Shravanam. And the reason we did this Yagna in this month of Shravan, this is the month, it is called July, it's called Shravan because the mode of prayer is to listen, Shravanam, practicing listening of the discourses of God, most of the time Lord Shiva. This is the time every Monday people offer Indar and so on the Lingam, the Rudra is chanted, but every day the person endeavors to listen to prayer. And by allowing it to enter through the ears, the person is washing away sin. Raja Parikshit is on his last days. He's coming close to the end. And he wants to know, how is it that this designation of the main form, how was Lord Vishnu given this title? How did the Krishna Leela started to wrap up? I have so many questions and I have so little time. Guruji, could you please explain this tidbit, the little missing gap that I have in my knowledge? I believe in God, but after listening, and for us who are here night after night, day after day, we say we believe in God. But in order to have true bhakti and devotion to somebody or something, tulsi plant, fig tree, you have to know where that fig tree come from. Otherwise, it's just another tree in your eyes. If you don't know the history of that shaligram, it's just a black stone. For many people, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Sanatanist because my mother teach me to offer darsu, or I grew up singing in temple. But if you ask the person, why do you sing? Why do you cry when you're singing? Why, when you're doing the roti and the takari, not necessarily in the temple, do you have a little more love for Hanuman Baba compared to Saraswati Mata? I feel strongly about Hanuman Baba because, can you fill in the blank? Gita explains that it is good to do, but it is better to have knowledge about why you do what you do. So that when you understand your God, you could do it with a little emotion. And this is what Parikshit wants to have. Bhagavad is only going to give you a sensation of feelings. It's a book that allows a person. People say you must have bhakti. When Sri Ram is talking to Shabri, they're discussing the 9 forms of bhakti. But somebody cannot explain to you how to feel. Feeling is a feeling. But that feeling could spread like a vine inside of you when you understand and have the knowledge about, in this case, Krishna. When you grow in it and you understand, you start to close your eye and you can see it, you start to dream it, you start to enjoy it, and it spreads in you as you grow and develop. Parikshit, after all this time spent listening about Lord Krishna and Lord Visnu in different times and forms, says, I realized that there are many gaps in my knowledge, that I knew so little. Please fill these last few gaps before the time expires. Let's hear what happens when he explains how they made the designation that Lord Vishnu would be our main, I'm saying it for children, the main actor in the Leela. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Natasma Vriga Vishnu Sahasra Pura Sakshitam Tvai Pravakshyami Ye Braga Briguyatam Labhaye Tasmin Ye Tejas Jaya Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. They, all the munis, all the sages had gathered together to do a great yag. We spoke about what that word, it have yag, it have yajna, it having yag. Yag mean sacrifice. We spoke about, some people interpret that word to mean different things. I'm making parsad, I'm making offering a sari, whatever it is. Sacrifice sometimes start with the decision, I'm going to make time. The time is the commodity that we cannot make more of. God give me 60 years and I'm going to put aside a little morsel of my time to give it back, whether in the form of prayer, fasting, however you look at it. Creation had now started, and all of them led by this Muni by the name of Brigu were doing worship. So the question was asked, in this yajna, in the altar, in the havan, who is the main devata? We have the 3 main force, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. But who is the one that will always be offered to as the main sustainer, the main force, the main hero? when things get really bad in Kali Yuga, who will stand to fight for righteousness? And the decision was made, well, we have to carry out an exam. We have to do a test. So Brigu is selected because of his knowledge as the person to carry out a little survey to see who is the most fitting person. He goes first to Brahma. And Brahma is with his eyes closed and he's lost in the creative process, and a lot of time pass. Brigu says this person will never listen to the prayer of the creation. He will always be engaged in creating, but will never have time for people. He is not the person. He went to Kailash next, and Mahadev Baba was seated with the goddess, and he is always, in all his discourses, Shiva is always entwined and entangled with the Devi, with the energy. And he's always, when you see Lord Shiva japping and his eyes are closed, what is he focusing on? How her energy is being manipulated to create different things. He takes, for example, for our understanding, the electrical line on the road, the electricity, the deadly electricity, comes into a person's home and could be changed, converted into the light we need, into the AC we want, into the sound we depend on to hear. But it all starts off as that raw energy. And Shiva looks at how she could change and how she's manipulated to create good things and not good things. Brigu stood next to Nandi the bull and saw that Shiva was totally engrossed in her dealings and doings, and he would never make time to focus on the people, on the prayer of the needy. When he goes to Vaikuntha, Lord Vishnu is sound asleep on the lap of Lakshmi. This discourse is given in different places. In Vishnu Puran, Brigu had to call 10 times. He literally said, Lord Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, 10 times. Bhagavad, it doesn't say that. But when he called him 10 times, this is why Lord Vishnu had to descend upon the earth 10 times. All the different Ram, Krishna, Buddha, Kalki, etc. When he called him and he didn't answer, Brigu went and hit him, that same Lord Vishnu, a kick on his chest. That mark remained on his chest. When we were talking last night and they were trying to figure if this is Krishna or his son Pradyamna, the Vatsa mark or the footprint of Brigu that remained, if you watch your Murti, you see it like an imprint. That footprint remained on him, but this was the test. Lord Vishnu took the lash, but he got up, and after talking about how Lord Krishna washed the foot of Sudama, he got up and he started to massage the foot and said, this blessed foot is going to get damaged now. Don't do that. And he rubbed and squeezed and very humbly said, you who master the Gayatri mantra, the dust from your foot remains on my chest. Look, the mark, Vatsa mark is there. And I am better for it. Thank you for the blessing and the grace. And instead of getting angry, like how Brahma did and Lord Shiva did, Lord Vishnu remained humbly rubbing his foot. Took this information and Brigu went back to his circle of munis and says, of the three of them, Vishnu is the only one that paid attention to me, and he is the one that would do all his work but never be ruled by the work. He is able to separate himself. I nominate him to be the form that will come upon the earth from time to time, that will always be the main hero to represent righteousness. And when even man's lifespan becomes very shortened, he will be the one that will represent the way out of the treacherous karmic traps that will exist. For this reason, even when Sitaram, even when, Kali Yuga is coming, of all the prayers that you do, do you remember the days when people used to make a big fuss to do 3 days prayer? How you used to call this Saturday prayer? Remember? Root and Katha. Root representing Hanuman, Saturday. But the Katha, the Satnarayan, Vrat and Katha, that fig tree. In the age of Kali Yuga, he would be referred as the God of truth. Satya, truth, Narayan, God. And in doing his little puja, short puja, read that little discourse. The first chapter is just talk about when you make any prasad, put whole wheat flour in it and use ripe fig. That's the whole front of that first part, the Katha part. By reading that, the person gets upliftment, health and benefit. A lot of benefit in a little puja. In your own life, for the people here who have age, you saw people's lifespan cut down so quick. We were talking about the cause, the effect of karma, causing parents to live to see hurtful events such as the funeral of their children. Different bad things are happening, and it is foretold that it will get worse. Brigu says the person that will lead the fight against this unrighteousness, these times of sickness and a lot of karma is playing, is going to be Lord Vishnu. He will be the one who controls Brahma. For this reason, Brahma grows from his navel. Just as how when he comes as Krishna, I mentioned it, it is in the next Skandha, we did it last year. Lord Shiva is asked by Krishna, I need a son. And that same Lord Shiva incarnates as the son of Lord Krishna in the form of Samba. They're both intertwined, but Lord Shiva is the assistant. Lord Shiva is the one who comes to see the power and the work of Lord Vishnu in whichever text you take. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Sukadeva Goswami says, O Parikshit, whenever a person sits like you in performing the yag, and by the end of the performance of the prayer has listened to episode after episode where Lord Vishnu has incarnated in his various forms, instilling, in the case of the Puran, an example, not just like in Gita where it says you could be your own friend, for example, your own friend, your own enemy. Now he's showing how that is illustrated, like in, for example, in Bhagavad with the Ajamil discourse. Ajamil is this person that is born as a Pandit and he's walking on the road and he sees a prostitute and he goes haywire, crazy, and he goes down the wrong road. But the wife, she put all their children, Vishnu, Narayan, Hari, etc. And when life was ready to jump out of the body, he calls to his child. And the soul is being clobbered, beaten by the attendants of Yamraj. That you lived such a horrible life. You made such horrible choices. You wasted. What was the horrible? You wasted the time and the opportunities that God gave you. And then in the middle of all that licks, Lord Vishnu and his attendants reach right there and say, what are you beating the Swami for? So the Yamdut say, I don't understand. He lived a whole life sinful. What are you talking about? He said, but he died with my name on his lips. He said, he wasn't calling you Prabhu, he wasn't calling you, he was calling his son, Narayan. He said, you don't understand the power of my name. Don't know what it means. Don't believe in it. But you use it and you'll get the blessing. For this reason, when doing Bhagavad, Govinda Bolo, Hari Gopala Bolo, you will hear that in the practice of bhakti, chant his name. Just chant his name and you'll get the blessing that you're looking for. The person who absorbs the nectar of these lotus that came from the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami, son of Vedvyas, that person takes that nectar and it dispels fear of what? The constant birth and death, die, born again, punishment, different type of hells. The person is getting the opportunity to drink the nectar that will give them mukti, where the cup, the goblet is your air, your heirs, listening to this nectar, taking the nectar, and by absorbing that nectar, this is how a person gains liberation. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Sukadeva Goswami says, you want to know how this Krishna Leela ended? He says, one day, a Brahman, he lost a child is stillbirth, and he's crying, and he started to wail that you are supposed to be the politician, you are supposed to be the king to protect. I cannot get to keep one of my children. Every time we go to have a child, me and the wife, the child dies. Could you please protect? He says, Krishna couldn't protect Pradyamna, his own son. He's going to protect mine. When his grandson Anirudh was in his bed chambers, a big man, somebody came and using black magic and kidnapped him. He's going to protect mine. And Arjun couldn't listen to this. Gets very upset. And he says, I, son of Kunti, will protect your home with prayer. And I will ensure, I swear, I will ensure that that child will live. Let's do this one slok. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
Tat Brahman Putra Ye Viprapal Rudhira Ye Sadhyu Darshananyapi Ye Dvij Pravakshi Ye Vahan Sahitayate.
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
The Brahman in time did have an baby, but just like before, the child comes into the world, and in that moment Arjun is saying all the prayers and protecting the place, and the child disappears. Being very confused, Arjun goes to Krishna. I made a promise that if I don't protect this child, I will make a fire and I will burn. Krishna says, wait, it have more to this. Wait. Don't be so quick to damn and harm yourself. Put your faith. There is something happening here, something behind the scene. I will go with you. Let us go on my chariot, where Daruka is driving his 4 horses, the chariot of Krishna. And they start to go in a western direction and in search of this child. Let's hear what happens. Evam shatashi viprasho vidya mastasteya pulanata yuya sanya minse masho yatri sthiti par bhagwan te. Started a search, and they speak to all the different Dastikpal, the different north, south, east, west guardian. Did you see this child? Did you see this child? They go to the land of Yamraj and nothing, no help. Then they start to cross all the different bodies of water, all the mountain. And according to our text, verse 49 of chapter 89, Skandha 10, from the colors of the earth, the place became very dark, very black. And it was as if the 4 horses of Krishna, the 4 horses, Saibhya, Sugriv, Megha, Pushpa, Bala, Halak, started to run in a black, complete, without light, without sound. Me and you might call it space. It was the head of Sheshnag, that the support that holds the planet, this 1,000-hooded snake, is described as holding of the planet, and the black, the dense black, it cannot, nothing could pass through. But Arjuna is in awe to see all of this, and as they continue to go, the horses get lost, they get confused. The Sudarshan Chakra from Krishna's hand goes in front like a little touchlight, guiding light, and the horses are beckoned to follow him, follow the Sudarshan Chakra. Go, and they follow that light forward. And as they go forward, they see the face of Sheshnag, they see the body, the heads of Sheshnag. They're going down his throat. The body of this snake tends to look a little white, by the neck has a color. And the picture that they know of Lord Vishnu sleeping on Sheshnag is coming into focus. On this huge serpent lay this dark form with a yellow dhoti. And Arjun couldn't understand what he was seeing. It was so amazing that even Krishna bows state. Sukdev Goswami says in this incident, understand that Krishna is bowing to Krishna. The same energy inside small Krishna is in this huge Vishnu. But the bow, just as a parent does it, demonstrate to children what to do. Krishna bows and Arjun quickly follows suit. And he bows to him. They notice how Pushti, Shri, the different attendants, Kirti, are whisking different fans to keep him calm. Let's hear what Lord Krishna says. Bhavyanda Atmaye Mana Brahman Putra Jishnu Te Tarya Shanaye Madhyam Yena Taraye Bhauma Pratishtita
Paramatmaya Namo Namah
Narayanaya Krishnaya
Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
Imagine the two people on the cover of your Bhagavad Gita, two of them bow together. And the huge, let me just use for children, the giant Mahavishnu in his huge form, lying down, started to talk. He says all the sons of that Brahman, not this one you are looking for, the different ones that came before, all of them were brought to Vaikuntha by myself. I brought them here so that you would follow. Things happen for a reason. And in my Leela, I wanted both of you. You in past were called Nar and Narayan. These two great souls. You are sent upon the earth for the purpose of, as my part manifestation, for the protection of righteousness and righteous people. Having destroyed all the demons and having brought back equilibrium upon the earth and the system, by removing the burden of the earth, it is now time for you to come home. It is now time for you to leave the earth. Make all preparation. Make ready, because it is time for this Leela to finish. I await your return. Let's hear what happens in these last two verses. Nyara Nara Narayan Samprishta Yataye Gamana Vipratharatu Putraye Naraye Narayana Hari Katha
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah
Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Now imagine in the chariot, all the children of this couple jump in, and two adults are bringing children home. But with the passage of time from when they were in the company of Lord Vishnu to when they reached back to where they were, the children had grown a little. Lord Krishna ushers these children back to the parents, and Arjun stood in the chariot amazed at what he had seen. Being astonished, he realized that whatever makes a person unique, powerful, graceful, in any way endemic of some religious or some power that lives or strives to be displayed, whether the feat is warrior type, the beauty pageant, the parent, the love, the compassion, whatever is the characteristic of the person, there is a supreme being that is beaming that blessing into you. That if I am 1% and that supreme being 100%, whatever gifts I have, as he's speaking to the charioteer, imagine two people remain in the vehicle and they're talking. Whatever gifts I have, what I boast about, what I build my persona on is 1%. My understanding, my knowledge of the system is so limited. There is so much still for me to grasp and learn and grow. Now this is after Bhagavad Gita. This is after he sees the form in the middle of the Kurukshetra war. This is after that entire thing. Dwarka is getting ready. The text is closing. This Skandha is closing. And Dwarka is getting ready to sink into the water. The entire city of Krishna is about to go. This initiation of the end is what is significant here. How is it that Krishna bleeds under the peepal tree? And for the reason that that blood is absorbed by the tree, this tree is called wish granting, wish giving. It is a powerful tree. Arjun says, today I understand truly humility. And just as how Indra became, when we were doing Govardhan Katha, because he has a little power, a little position, he becomes the god of rain. And he thinks it is time for him to punish people until he realized his place in the whole concept of creation. Today I understand all the false pride and all the things that I have learned in the course of this time. Remember, Arjun in Anand Ramayana is the one who caused us to end up with the tall Hanuman flag. If you watch a Gita and you see Hanuman flag over the chariot, in Mahabharata discourse it says when the war was done, before they came back to meet Dhritarashtra, Krishna comes off the chariot, he tells Arjun come off the chariot, he calls Hanuman and say come off. And when Hanuman comes off, it is then the chariot break, all the lash, all the fire, everything burned out. For this reason, till today, when people build in your roof and you see the little red cloth on top of your roof, that is why. Arjun in Anand Ramayana, Arjun and Hanuman make a bet. And if Arjun lost the bet, if Arjun won the bet, Hanuman would always give him protection. Anywhere that red flag is flying, anywhere this Hanuman Dwaj, Kapi Dwaj is flying, wherever it is higher than, everything underneath, he will protect it. This is the big fuss about that flag. Arjun was learning, although he is the cousin of Krishna. Parents are cousins and these are like second cousins. Brother and sister, Vasudeva and Kunti are brother and sister and they are cousins. And in the company of cousin, in Gita, he becomes, Lord Krishna is no longer friend, he's no longer confidant, he's no longer none of these things. He becomes guru to teach Arjun when he's confused and he doesn't know what to do, head nor tail, he doesn't know what to do. Krishna shows him what to do. All the examples that he had learned in this time together, all the different things he saw when he went to fight Lord Shiva in the boar form, Arjun was gaining insight throughout these different experiences. Everybody put your hand together. In the very last, we were doing chapter 89, chapter 90 is where this Skandha, we have done this, the volume of volume 10. He says, God creates mobile and immobile. God creates grass and creepers and trees depending on the person's karma. But when the person attains the human form, karma allows the person to have cognitive, conscious decision to choose how they spend their time. And the difference between animal and human is the ability to manage their time. Whilst a dog, a different animal, would be guided by season or pheromones to reproduce, to eat, etc. The human is supposed to be God guided. When you hear somebody says, Sat Chit Anand, the chit or the voice in your head tells you what to do and how to do. When you take that chit a step further, that voice becomes Krishna. A person should listen to the stories of Krishna, and by listening to it, grow in understanding, become vindicated in the path of righteousness, and use it to grow and learn all the different incarnations, all the stories, all the miracles, and use it as a reason to grow in your bhakti. And by doing it, do what little you could do. Serve people, give charity, do worship, etc. Sacrifice your time. And by doing it, wash your slate clean of negative karma. We are all sinful people. We all make mistakes. But how do you ask for forgiveness? Praschit karma. Maybe a person will say Gayatri. Maybe a person will do good things. Maybe when we learn the name Mukunda means the one who could give you, the worst person, salvation, liberation, forgiveness, etc. So I'll call his name, I'll worship him, I'll remember him. Whichever way you choose, the way of Lord Krishna is very accessible. I could pray to him, as we said the other night. I could pray to him any night. I could call him any time. I could do his worship. It's so liberal and easy. I could offer him anything. Give me a drop of water, a leaf, a flower. Do it with devotion and I'll take it. What little you have, what plenty you have, I'll take it. By attentively listening to this, the person who encourages others to hear, constantly thinking, smaranam, remembering what you learn about Lord Mukunda, Krishna, Govinda, regardless to the jurisdiction in which you live, even if in your family there are deceased members that are suffering, burning in hell because of the karma they performed, blessed is the person that is able to listen to these type of discourses, that it will benefit not only yourself, but generations of your family, living and those that are deceased. By listening, by practicing Shravanam, the person is learning about themselves, how to manage themselves and their time, how to be in control of their destiny by being proactive in godly karma rather than reactive or waiting until trouble comes and then I want to do this, that and the other. The person takes control, motivated by the holy discourses contained in this Bhagavad. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Let me ask my brother Gyan to give me one bhajan before we go into something called Hiranya Garbha Suktam, a prayer as we are wrapping up. As we are wrapping up tonight, our Bhagavad in the morning, Puja will start at 5:30, 6. And reading begins at 8 o'clock when we will do our Gita. We have different people. Maybe if we wanted to pull a shortcut, let me explain it. If we wanted to pull a shortcut, we could have condensed everything tonight. Truthfully, that is the answer. If we wanted to do a shortcut, we could have done it tonight. Lift Khalsa, pull out fig tree, do everything. But if the person is get to chant the Bhagavad Gita, the Gita Mahatyam and all the different passages, because people have some trouble in their life, if we're fear. And not too often people have the time when they're doing like a bandara to listen to an entire chapter of the Gita. Last night Pandit chanted the chapter while they were standing. And if you get to hear it the blessings that you will get is just more and more for everybody. So in the morning, we'll set aside a little time to do the correct closing off for Yag. In our Yag, we did the Matikor where they brought the mud, and in the morning when we close in, we have to return this dirt, Mother Earth. We brought you to witness, to be the Devta of the baby, and it is now time to end it properly. So that if, and I've been straight with everybody, if we have to break the fast, there must be a way. After doing all this prayers, the closing of this type of prayers becomes paramount. Because too often people want to do it, man. And halfway in the thing, they just want to break their fast. They get tired. But if you end prayer inappropriately, sometimes the same prayers you're doing could be damning, and you could end up in trouble. So when you respect what you're doing, you do it correctly. And then when you get the blessing, God will really bless you. Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai.
This composition of Sri Swamiji, this song, it sings about the 10 avatars as Pandit speak about. So let us join. Mata Pitane Panduranga Bandhu Guravo Panduranga.
Mata Pitane Panduranga Bandhu Guru Panduranga.
Dalli Vitandeve Panduranga Bandhu Guravo Panduranga.
Dalli Vitandeve Panduranga Bandhu Guru Panduranga.
Tande Taye Panduranga Bandhu Balaga Panduranga.
Tande Taye Panduranga Bandhu Balaga Panduranga.
Sinhasaka Panduranga Bandhu Balaga Panduranga.
Snehasakha Panduranga Bandhu Balaga Panduranga.
Parama Pavitra Panduranga Pavana Purusha Panduranga.
Parama Pavitra Panduranga Pavana Purusha Panduranga.
Dina Data Panduranga Daya Sindhu Panduranga.
Dina Data Panduranga Daya Sindhu Panduranga.
Masyavatara Panduranga Kumavatara Panduranga.
Matsyavatara Panduranga Kurmavatara Panduranga.
Varhavatara Panduranga Vamana Murte Panduranga.
Varhavatara Panduranga Vamana Murti Panduranga.
Narasimhatara Panduranga Bhagavarama Panduranga.
Narasimhavatara Panduranga Bhargavarama Panduranga.
Ramavatara Panduranga Krishnavatara Panduranga.
Ramavatara Panduranga Krishnavatara Panduranga.
Buddhavatara Panduranga Kalkyavatara Panduranga.
Buddhavatara Panduranga Kalkyavatara Panduranga.
Dashavatara Panduranga Dinavatara Panduranga.
Dashavatara Panduranga Dinavatara Panduranga.
Vittala Vittala Panduranga Jai Hari Vittala 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 Panduranga.
Jai Hari Vittala Panduranga Jai Hari Vittala Panduranga.
Jai Hari Vittala Panduranga Jai Hari Vittala Panduranga.
Sachidananda Panduranga Sachidananda Panduranga.
Sachidananda Panduranga Sachidananda Panduranga.
Mata Pitane Panduranga
Vishnu Bhagwan ki jai. Everybody, put your hands together. Close your eyes. After this, let me ask Pandit Sonny Boy, you'll come and sing a little bhajan with me. Pandit Anup, you'll give us your blessing. So, guys, will move to suit. For now, Hiranya Garbha Suktam calls on that person, Hiranya Garbha, who is Lord Vishnu when he's lying down on the snake. As we wish to conclude our yag, we are going to lift that kalsa shortly. Puja finished a little while ago. Reading now done. Inside of everybody, we are living in very tumultuous times. Besides sickness, besides crime, financial problem, global wars, the temperature, the flooding, things are becoming very, very, very different. In one generation, things are changing. Take this opportunity in your own words, in your own land home. When you have flooding and erosion, when you have land movement, when you have all these issues, take a second, and whilst I'm saying this prayer which comes from Rig Veda, you say your prayer. Dear God, I get to be in the company of good people. Home, people getting really sick. Please, my home, people are still healthy. Bless us to remain healthy. When you get the opportunity to pray, pray. But pray properly. Maybe tonight, in your prayer, don't forget to say thank you for the things that you do have. Yes, we always need help and we always need more. But dear God, for the little ounce of dal I have, thank you for it as well. Hiranyagarbha samvartatagre bhutasya jataha patare kasit saradhara prithvim dhyamute mam kasyameva havisha vedamaha ya atmada bhalada yashya vishwa upasayet prashishyam yashvadevaha yaschaya amrita yashva mrityu kashmadeva havisha vedamaha yah pranato nimisatahu mahitvaikat indaraja jagato brabhuva ya isa asya dvaipadasya chatuspadasya kashmadeva havisha vedamaha yashema himavanto mahitva rasa samudra rasaya yaho yashe mahaprasadi desho yashya bahu kashmadeva havisha vedamaha yena dau ugra prithvi cha dharidra ye swasavitam yena nakaha yo antariksha rajasya vimanaha kashmai deva havisha vedamaha yam krandasya bhasya tasya bhane abhyechetam manase rajamane yatra adhi surya udito vaibhati kashmadeva havisha vedamaha apo yad brihate vishwamayam garbhadam dadanya jnanatir agni tato devanam samvardaka suryakah kashmadeva havisha vedamaha yaschida apo mahimna prayar prasadakshna dadam jnana agnitira yajmanas yo devaswadi deva ek asit kashmadeva havisha vedamaha. Of all the verses in this passage, this one says, Hiranyagarbha, you are the upholder of everything. You hold the land, you hold the water, you maintain the cycle. In my home, there's a lack of that energy. We like to call it barakat. The different forms Lakshmi Mata takes, that gives me health, that gives me happiness, Whatever little I have done in this yag, in this sacrifice, if it is just to put aside the time, iron the clothes, and reach here to be viewing live that sacrifice, that is my offering, dear God. Please accept it and bless me and hold me up. Do not allow me to burn. Do not allow me to suffer. The little things I offer in yag, multiply it and protect me. Lift me up. This verse that we are about to say, never let harm fall on me. Remember, everyday bad things are happening. Say your prayers. Mano himaj janitaya prithviyavo divyam satya dharma gagyana yascha paschandra brahiti yana kashma deva havisha vedamaha प्रजापत्येना त्वया दितन्यो विश्वजातानि परित्य ब्रभुवना यकामस्ते जहुमानस्तौ अस्तौ वयं गुं स्वयं पातु राहिनाम मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुडध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षम मंगलाय Tano Hari. Dear Lord, whatever I have done, whatever sacrifice I have made, if it is just the prayer I say in my heart and mind, please hear my prayer and bless me accordingly. Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. I'm going to ask my Baba, Sonny Boy Baba, come sing a song with me. And after Baba sings, Pandit Anup, please give me your words of blessing. Yeah. Babs, if you want, you could sit down right in and make yourself comfortable.
परम से बोले श्री कृष्णा गोविंद भगवान की जय. Let us all clap and sing together and chant the name of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari Jai रविंद्र भगवान की जय.
Baba, I feel you have to give me our next one just now. You know, you're going good. That song very powerful, man. Thank you very much. Panditano, please accept the mic.
Om Sri Ganeshaya Saraswati Namaha. Om Sri Guru Sharanakamle Bhyo. Respected Vyas, my good friend, other pundits in the audience, other pundits in the midst tonight, pleasant Sitaram to each and everyone. It is said that when we enter the house of the Lord, we have entered good feet. And amongst it is said also that when we enter congregational worship is one of the greatest and the best way of reaching Bhagwan. But it is also said that when we enter into the house of God and we enter and we listen to the beautiful teachings of Bhagavad Mahapuran, we have entered into the nectar and the blessings of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. As we sit in our private position, let us all glorify Bhagwan. Om Devaki Sutta Govindam Vasudeva Jagatapate Dehi me Tanayam Krishna Tvamaham Sharanam Gataha Akshutam Keshavam Ramachandranam Madhavam Gopinam Ramanarayanam Akshutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishnadhamudharam Vasudevam Harim Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Thank you very much, Panditji.
Prem Sabulavindra Bihari Lala ki Jai. In the morning, we'll continue with the Ashirvad part. If how that ashes is now, it's hot, and it will still have pieces of that undumbara wood that is not processed. The purpose of doing a yag like this is to get things that will bless, protect, clean your home. Basma, according to Shiv Puran, according to Bhagavad Puran, is one of the most powerful things that could be used. If you go to Sai Baba, if you go to Dattatreya Swami, that black tilak that you see on his forehead, and people want to know what kind of tikka is that. That is simply the ash from the hawan mixed together with cow ghee or cow product. We've been talking about it, sitting on the person's body. When people have children that scream, when people have fear complexes, Basma is the thing you bathe with to remove that fear. After a week of Gayatri throughout the day, endlessly, Pandit and many people, devotees, did the 64 names of that Chausat Yogni. That 64 forms is that same Durga, but 64 forms of ladies that cause trouble. Remember in Hinduism, I said it before, I'm saying it again, there is no devil. There's no, the devil is a busy man. Everything in Hinduism comes from God. And those 64 forms, honestly, from simple as the energy of food spoiling, argument in a house, you're trying to do good and you're met with opposition, you're met with, diffidence, you're met with people who want to see you fail and fall, even if you are doing good. The energy, the vibration of feeling, sometimes you go in a place, I don't want to eat here. And then, let's just say in your mother's house, I have to eat here. That feeling that you get, that sensation, you cannot say there's a physical cause, but a sensation, something about this place could be positive or otherwise. So the Hindu in their prayer, when you go to prayer and you see that triangle with those many flags, Durga Mata represented by each flag, please cool down, calm down. We're trying to do a good thing here. I'll give you some sweet rice. It's sweet. How you give is so you get. And I'm saying it for children to understand. Everybody work with me. I'm giving you sweet things. Bless me with sweet times. Bless me that the parasad must be enough. Bless me everybody could come here. Although we are all different. We all pray different. We interpret different. Man, woman, everybody different. But bless us to have one goal. And with that single vision, get through with it. Bless us to be calm. Bless us to get along. Bless us to have manners. Bless us to have etiquette. Bless us to step up where we need to improve. To learn just by watching what other people doing. Learn and follow suit. So many things happen in a Yagneshala, to be honest, that sometimes you don't realize the transformation and the lesson that is being taught. But most of the time, you're watching somebody. You are following somebody. Oh, that is how I'm supposed to wear my urni. That is how I should keep on my ticker. That look good. I should wear a string on my hand. The bali. For children. I'm just using children. This is how to bog lagawe food. Let me explain that. You're cooking salt food and you have to feed people and you're taught don't jutta the food before God touches you. So I have to offer it to the fire. If somebody didn't teach you, offer it to the fire, and after you offer it, then you could taste it. Then you're already blessed. But I might need to tweak salt a little bit or pepper a little bit. How does the caterer does it? This is how they do it. For the ones that are God guided. Do it for God first, offer it to Him. And then take a clean spoon, you don't double dip the spoon and jutta the whole pot. Hope people don't do that. But the little subtle arts of how to do things like this will trickle over into your prayer at home, how you conduct yourself, the sanitation. Hinduism and cleanliness is a big thing. We make a big fuss about cleanliness. That statement, cleanliness is next to godliness, that should be one of our tenets because we really believe in that. And when a person could really practice being clean, sometimes that's better than dressing up and doing puja because of your mannerisms, how you conduct yourself. For my part, as we have embarked on this 7 years Bhagavad, honestly, get to spend some time with these children, these God children. I get to play with my niece and them a lot. But to teach them how to cook, how to clean, and the godmother do most of the work. How to wash. There was washing. And the mother them stand up and they wondering what prayers all they say on these children's head that they take into the washing machine. Maybe we need to train children on how to live and not just study book. Study book and you're feeling at life. Nobody have time to do anything. So with the support of a good group of parents, not myself, by no means, I was busy reading all this book. Children learned how to get up early and how to handle the chores and move. Everybody balled together, trust me, it had a lot of balling. The Pandit and them get training too. Our Pandit Adesh, let me give him a round of applause, please. Baba, I saw you sacrifice. And God bless you from the top of your head to the sole of your foot. For what you did, my portion was the interim when everybody's taking a break. But the real yag is by that baby. And if we don't give these young fellas the opportunity to perform Bhagavad, they will not have the knowledge, they will not know how to do it. If we are not careful, you go in different places, Bhagavad, but you will not hear Bhagavad Sumiran. And the Bhagavad Sumiran is where the person is advocating, I don't have good karma, I'm catching me nenen. So I come to beg you, Lord Vishnu. Accept my prayer, accept this sinner, and by just listening to the prayer, change my life. And you rob the person of that. I'm a Pandit and I'm saying even the Pandit have to practice and get ready and do the correct thing. And if together we could fight the fight and do the correct thing, then maybe some of the trouble we're facing will stop. Everybody, for whatever you do, God bless you. In whichever way you help, God bless you. That what you're praying for, you get it. For all the Babas who came far and near, made sacrifice to be here. I know one or two of them coming in the morning, Gyan and Mr. Ram Logan. Thank you for being here. Everybody, please give Gyan and his son. Because in their forum with Hanumanji, with Swami's message, everybody's pushing for betterment with prayer, not necessarily politics. But with your prayers, you could trump politics. You could make people have compassion. You pray that God lights something inside a person and wake up good things and goodness where politics fail. At this time, let's all stand. As I said, the whole thing with the Shiva Hari, that is tomorrow. The ashes that everybody wants, that's in the morning. Short Gita, Gita Mahatyam, all of that, that's tomorrow. Put your hand together. Everybody cover your hair. Sajam cha varti sanvitam Rahinayojitam Deepam Rehana Devesham Trailokyatiniravaham. Prabhu, for this year, thank you for affording us the opportunity to sing your arti. This Bhagavad arti, I don't know. It's short, but just sometimes when you hear it, it is put you in a sentimental mood. It reminds you of long time. I hope you enjoyed your Bhagavad this year, everybody. Close your eyes and sing for him this last time. Jai Jai Bhagavata Bhagavani Hey Aarati.
पाप से आरती जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से आरती। ये अमर ग्रंथ ये मोती पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने अमर ग्रंथ ये मोती पंथ ये पंचम वेद निराला नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही जगति मंगल आरती पापियों को पाप से जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से तारती। ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला। ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्शन दिखाने वाला। हे सुख करनी हे दुख करनी हे दुख हरनी हे मधुसूदन की आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती। जय भागवत भगवान की जय आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती। ये मधुर बोल जग पंड बोल चल मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। ये मधुर बोल जग पंड बोल चल मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा के आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती। जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om 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 Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Har Har Hari Om Narayana. Har Har Hari Om Narayana.
Hari Om Narayana.
Har Har Hari Om Narayana. Har Har Hari Om Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Everybody. Hari. Om Namo Narayana. Hari. Dear Lord, thank you for the time. Thank you for a place where good people will come together and safely do your Seva, your prayer, your sadhana. Thank you for everything. And for every person that came together in different ways, people who brought flowers and other things to make this prayer possible, please bless them, dear God. For every person that took the time and the effort to stretch their foot to reach here, bless them, dear God. For those people that are listening online, people that will watch this broadcast after, God bless them, that wherever there is pain, wherever there is suffering, wherever there is hardship, please stretch your hand and touch each one of your children that sacrificed one way or the other for you and for your prayer. Together, everybody. Tvameva Mata
Shapita Tvameva.
Tvameva Bandhuscha
Saka Tvameva.
Tvameva
Dravidam Tvameva.
Tvameva
Mama Deva Deva.
Tvameva Sarvam
Mama Deva Deva.
Together, everybody. Om Shanti
Shanti Shanti Hari Om.
Prem Samalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki, Pawana Putra Hanuman ki, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Jai Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Sitaram, everybody. Please have your seat, and we'll give Baba a second to do Visarjana.